Hello there, today we're going to look at a spider farm. This is a drop farm that'll produce way more spiders than a single spider spawner. First we'll take a look at the mechanic we're going to be using. A spider will charge at a iron golem that it sees, provided it's in the dark. The iron golem needs to be able to make eye contact with the spider, so we'll be setting our iron golems up to have their heads the block above our spawning platforms. Spiders are able to see iron golems from 16 blocks away, so we're going to have our main spawn platforms be a 31 block diameter. The space in the middle allows enough space so the spiders can charge at the golem but not be able to reach the golems when they fall off the side. That becomes important as you start stacking these platforms on top of each other. So I'll pause for a moment above the platform here so you can copy this for your build. Next we'll go over how we're going to stack our platforms and iron golems. So our iron golems are going to be standing on trapdoors, and they are surrounded by walls. The walls have a thicker hitbox, so it makes them a little bit harder for the spiders to get to them. So because our platforms are going to be 2 blocks away, the iron golems are actually going to intersect with each other because the iron golems are 3 blocks high. Spiders only need one block to spawn, but having them a block and a half allows the players to get onto these platforms if needed. So the next golem on top of this guy needs to have his trapdoor on the level of this golem's head. So I'll show the easiest way to go ahead and do that is use pistons and buttons. Just like that, and then the iron golem can be built on top, and he will fall down into place. There he goes. So next we'll talk about the location of the farm. Like most farms, you want to try to put it in a location where there aren't other spawnable blocks around it, so the platform should be built 128 blocks from other spawnable space. The easiest place to build something like this would be out in the middle of an ocean. Build it at Y level 192, which is your ocean level 64 plus your 128 blocks. You still might need to light up nearby land if you're noticing mobs spawning. So spiders only need to fall 20 blocks in order to die, but when you have that many spiders in a small space, they tend to interact with each other and they can cancel out some of the fall damage. So my farm here I actually built to have a 40 block fall. Even with a 40 block fall, sometimes spiders will survive. Spiders are just finicky, and there's just not much you can do about it. So I built my my kill platform here to be wider than the drop chute to allow for some of that, and even expanded a few blocks out from that to try to contain some of the spiders that would otherwise escape. So because your spiders will sometimes escape from here, it is important to have your player area be spider proof. So you don't want any 2 block wide spaces for the spiders to be able to get in. I opted for a setup like this with just the hoppers leading into chest, but obviously you can have whatever item collection system you want. This system also has a feature where you can convert it from a drop farm to a kill farm. You have a button there, releases some water, and you can use a sword to kill your spiders. Iron bars are a great item that will prevent your spiders from being able to get out, but give you plenty of space to get in there with your sword. If you decide you want to build your player location like mine, I'll just take a quick fly around here so you can see how that's all set up. It's pretty simple. We have a redstone line with some repeaters leading into some dispensers with water buckets. Now we'll head up into the spawner here. So we have a little bit of a water system in order to try to gather the spiders together into a smaller space. So this is pretty simple. It's based on the size of the platforms above. No matter where the spawners fall, they'll fall. No matter where the spiders fall, they'll fall into the water. I'd recommend adding the water last, just because this can inhibit you building. One thing to note that even though we have our golems far away from the platforms here and surrounded with walls, if this farm is left to run for hours, they will occasionally take damage. One of the reasons I limited this build to 12 spawning platforms is because the higher you go, these spiders are able to fall on an angle down and will more often get to your golems. So 12 platforms is recommended. Limiting platform size will also stop spawns once you're in here, because you'll always be within 24 blocks of all spawnable spaces. And the last piece of the farm is just the roof. We have an extra large roof on top of the build, and that is just to ensure that even in the daytime the platforms will be completely dark. So I have night vision on, but if we go up here and we go around to the outside, you'll be able to see that even in the middle of the day, your platforms here have a light level of 0. So I haven't done extensive testing on how much string this will actually produce, but if we turn the mobs back on here and wait a few seconds here, you see I have a scoreboard set up on the side that counts the number of spiders. This build will max out between 50 and 60 spiders. So that all being said, we'll wrap up the video here. I think this farm still has room for improvement, so I encourage anybody that has any ideas to build your own version of this and upload your results. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the comment section down below. Thanks, guys.